Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. Today, college basketball, NBA, and then we'll look ahead to tonight, and then soccer. We'll recap yesterday. Today, look ahead to tomorrow. Olympics on this day, news and notes, and best bets. So a smaller show today than usual. We'll begin with college basketball. There wasn't a lot of games yesterday, but there are some games tonight, but not a lot for a Tuesday, actually. Yesterday, Chicago State over St. Francis, 80-75. Navy over Bucknell, 76-60. Number 17, St. John's over Xavier, 87-82 in OT. Arkansas Pine Bluff over Jackson State, 84-63. Number 24, Louisville over NC State, 118-77. So best bet was a big L. Southern Illinois over Indiana State, 80-65. Bethune over Texas Southern, 79-69 in OT. Florida A&M over Prairie View, 196. Yale over Howard, 87-81 in OT. Southeast Louisiana over Incarnate Word, 74-62. Northwestern State over Lamar, 70-68. Central Arkansas over North Alabama, 72-65. Valpo over Drake, 81-76. Alabama A&M over Grambling, 66-58. Texas Rio Grande over Nichols, 92-72. McNeese over Houston Christian, 73-69. Stephen F. Austin over East Texas A&M, 74-70. NC Central over Delaware State, 72-63. Evansville over Illinois State, 88-80. Bradley over Belmont, 95-84 in OT. Alcorn State over Miss Valley State, 74-66. UNT Wilmington over Charleston, 76-64. New Orleans over A&M Corpus Christi, 84-78 in OT. Indiana over Oregon, 92-74. Number 9 Kansas over number 1 Arizona, 82-78. And that was without Darren Peterson, so Arizona finally loses. Southern over Alabama State, 69-68. Northern Iowa over Murray State, 89-60. All right, tonight, 6:30, Milwaukee, IU, Indy. My line for this game is Milwaukee by 3.5. And it is 2.5 and 157.5. I'll take the over. Fox Sports 1, 7 o'clock. Probably the game of the night. Number 13, Purdue. Number 7, Nebraska. My line's Purdue by a 5th. And it's Nebraska 1.5, total 146.5. I'll take the over. I do think Purdue will win. On ESPN, number 11, North Carolina, Miami. My line is Miami by 1. And it is North Carolina 1.5, total 156.5. So they have the same idea as I do. Massive letdown. Give me Miami plus 1.5 and plus 104 outright. ESPNU, number 15, Virginia, Florida State. I have Virginia 6.25. It's 7.5, 153.5. I'll take the under. SEC Narc, number 19, Vandy against Auburn. My line is Auburn 1.25. And it is Auburn 3.5 to 161.5. I'll take Vanderbilt getting the 3 in the hook. ESPN 2, number 22, BYU against Baylor. Mine is BYU 2.25. And it's 3.5 and 158.5. I'll take the under. Rhode Island, George Washington. My line is George Washington 5.2. And it's 5.5, 151.5. I'll take the over. George Mason, Richmond. I have George Mason 4.3. And it's 3.5 and 139.5. Tough one. I would say over. Fordham, St. Joe's. I have St. Joe's 9.2. It's 4.5, 134.5. I'll lay the 4.5 with St. Joe's. ACC Network, Notre Dame, SMU. I have SMU 7.25. And it is 10.5 and 154.5. I'll take Notre Dame plus the points. 7:30 TNT and True TV, Marquette, Villanova. Villanova 10.2. And it's 9.5 and 145.5. I'll take the over. 8 o'clock on Peacock, Wisconsin, number 8, Illinois. I have Illinois by 7. It's 10.5 and 154.5. I'll take Wisconsin getting 10.5. 8:30 Eastern, Illinois, Western Illinois. I have Eastern 5.1. It's 4.5 and 133.5. I'll take the over. 9 o'clock ESPN 2, number 3, Houston, Utah. My line is Houston by 11. And it's 16.5 and 141.5. I'll take Utah plus 16.5. That's a big number for the Cougars to be laying on the road. On ESPN, number 4 Duke and Pitt. My line is Duke 10.25. And it's 17.5 and 136.5. I'll take Pitt plus the 17 to hook. I know somebody say bounce back spot for Duke, but I look at it as too many points on the road. I do think Duke will win, but I just think maybe a 15-point win for Duke rather than a 20-point win for Duke. Fox Sports 1, number 5, Iowa State, TCU. My line is Iowa State 3.8. It's 7.5 and 147.5. I'll take TCU getting 7.5 for that one. SEC Network, number 21, Arkansas and LSU. I have Arkansas by 4. It's 4.5, 159.5. I'll take the under. Fresno State, Utah State. I have Utah State 13.2. And it's 19.5 and 153.5. I'll take Fresno State in the points. CBS Sports Network, Oklahoma State, Arizona State. I have Oklahoma State 0.7. It's Arizona State 2.5 total 161.5. I'll take Oklahoma State plus 2.5 and plus 132 to win the game straight up. Colorado State Air Force. I have Colorado State 5.7. And it is 16.5 total 135.5. That's way too high. Give me Air Force plus the point. 11 o'clock ESPN 2. Washington State number 12 Gonzaga. I have Gonzaga 14.2. And it's a 21.5, 156.5. I'm going to take Wazoo plus the points. Some may say bounce back spot for Gonzaga after losing to Portland the other night. And then on Fox Sports 1, San Jose State, UNLV. I have UNLV 10.9. And it's 11.5 and 151.5. I will take the over. Okay. Now I'll move on to the NBA. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to tonight. Tonight's actually a small window compared to last night. Last night there was 10 games. Tonight there's only 4. And 2 of them are on NBA TV. Pistons over the Hornets 110-104. There was a brawl in that game. We'll get to that in news and notes. Nets over the Bulls 123-115. Jazz over the Heat 115-111. Magic over the Bucks 118-99. T-Wolves over the Hawks 138-116. Pelicans over the Kings 120-94. Cavs over the Nuggets 119-117. Warriors over the Grizzlies 114-113. Thunder over the Lakers 119-110. And the Blazers over the Sixers 135-118. All right, 7:30 Pacers Knicks. My line is the Knicks 18.25. And it is 12 and 225.5. I'm going to lay the 12 with the Knicks. 8 o'clock NBA TV Clippers Rockets. My line is the Rockets 15.125. And it's 9 and 212.5. I'll lay the 9 with the Rockets. I don't see how this is a single digit game either way. I think Rockets blowout. Mavs Suns at 9. My line is the Suns 8.125. And it's 8.5, 227.5. I'll take the over. And last but not least, 10:30 NBA TV Spurs Lakers. I have the Spurs by 16.5. And it's 13 and 223.5. I'll lay the 13 with the Spurs without the Lakers players playing. Okay. Now we'll move on to soccer. We'll go over notable results from yesterday, today, and look ahead a little to tomorrow. It's going to be a short podcast today, which I like. All right, so yesterday, La Liga, Villarreal over Espanyol 4-1. Serie A, Atalanta over Cremonese 2-1. AS Roma over Cagliari 2-0. ELC, Borough over Sheffield 2-1. And then today, EPL, Chelsea, Leeds 2-2 draw. AFC, Bournemouth over Everton 2-1. Newcastle over Tottenham 2-1. And Man United, West Ham 1-1 draw. German Cup, Hertha Berlin, SC Freiburg 1-1 draw, but Freiburg advances 5-4 on penalties. Coppa Italia, Napoli, Como 1-1 draw. Como advances 7-6 on penalties. ELC, Southampton over Leicester City 4-3. Norwich City over Oxford United 3-0. West Brom, Birmingham City 0-0 draw. So tonight, and Scottish Premiership today too. Hearts over Hibernian 1-0. I missed that one. So tonight we have a couple games to touch on. 7:30 tonight you have CONMEBOL Libertadores, Deportivo Tequera, and the strongest. The strongest leads 2-1 on aggregate. But yeah, I don't see the line on there. But I'm gonna go over 2.5 for this game. All right, 8 o'clock, CONCACAF Champions Cup. UNAM San Diego FC. San Diego FC leads 4-1 on aggregate. UNAM's minus 160. San Diego's plus 350. The draw's plus 330. I'm gonna go with over 3.5 goals at plus 152. And at 10 o'clock, you have Tigres and Forge FC. They're tied on aggregate. Tigres minus 1250. Forge 27. The one the draw's plus 850. We're gonna go over 3.5 goals at plus 126. We have a lot of games tomorrow. So EPL tomorrow, 2:30 on Peacock. All the games are on Peacock. Aston Villa, Brighton, and Hove. Aston Villa's even money. Brighton's plus 270. Draw plus 260. I'm going Aston Villa even money. Crystal Palace, Burnley. Crystal Palace minus 100. Burnley plus 550. The draw's plus 320. We're gonna go over 2.5 goals minus 106. Man City, Fulham. Man City minus 310. Fulham 7-1. The draw's plus 470. Over 3.5 goals plus 130. Nottingham Forest, Wolverhampton. Nottingham minus 150. Wolverhampton plus 440. The draw's plus 280. I'm going to do over 2.5 goals at minus 106. And at 3:15, you have Sunderland, Liverpool. Liverpool minus 135. Sunderland plus 360. Draw plus 380. We're going to do over 2.5 goals at minus 120. All right, 3 o'clock. Athletic Club, Real Sociedad, Spanish Copa del Rey, first leg. Athletic plus 125, Real Sociedad plus 230, draw plus 10. I'm going with Athletic plus 125. All right, the German Cup at 2:45, Bayern Munich and RP Leipzig. Munich minus 425, Leipzig plus 750. The draw's plus 550. I'm going to do under 3.5 goals plus 136. Women's Championship League 12:45 hour. Out Heverly against Arsenal. First leg. Arsenal minus 1100. Out Heverly 25-1. The draw's plus 850. We're going to go under 3.5 goals minus 108. Then 3 o'clock first leg. Paris FC Real Madrid. Real Madrid minus 150. Paris FC plus 380. Draw plus 290. We're going to do under 2.5 goals even money. Coppa Italia. 3 o'clock. Bologna and Lazio. Bologna plus 110, Lazio plus 280, draw 2-1. I'm going with Bologna plus 110. And I'm just picking matinee games. We'll pick the night games on tomorrow's show. Dutch Eredivisie. 12:45, Go Ahead Eagles, Heerenveen. Go Ahead Eagles plus 150, Heerenveen plus 155, draw plus 260. I'm going with the draw plus 260. 3 o'clock, NEC, Nijmegen and FC Utrecht. Nijmegen plus 145, or minus 145, Utrecht plus 340, draw plus 290. For this one, I'm going to do over 3.5 goals plus 165. And Scottish Premiership, 2:45 Celtic and Livingston. Celtic minus 1,000, Livingston 15 on the draws 8-1. Celtic isn't as good as they usually are. Over 3.5 goals even money. Dundee Aberdeen. Dundee plus 145, Aberdeen plus 195, draw plus 220. I'm going with Dundee plus 145. Falkirk, Dundee. Falkirk minus 160, Dundee plus 430, draw plus 270. We're going to do over 2.5 goals minus 112. Kilmarnock, St. Mirren. Kilmarnock plus 185, St. Mirren plus 160, draw plus 210. I'm going Kilmarnock as a home underdog plus 185. And last but not least, 3 o'clock, Motherwell, Rangers. Rangers plus 105, Motherwell plus 220, draw plus 260. I'm going with Rangers at plus 105. Okay, now we'll move on to the Olympics. we will go over the action from yesterday and today and look ahead a little to tomorrow. So results from today, I should say, which is really is it yesterday or tomorrow there? Oh, it was today there, this morning here. So Luge getting the bronze. Arrow and Ashley Farquharson. Silver going to Alina Boda of Latvia, and gold going to Julia Taubitz of Germany. Ski jumping, mixed team final round. The bronze, Japan. Norway gets silver. Slovenia gets gold. Ice hockey, women's, U.S. over Canada 5-0. And Finland over Switzerland 3-1. And then today, tomorrow, we have the Nordic combined. We have skeleton women's training, snowboarding, women's snowboard, halfpipe qualification, freestyle skiing, women's modules qualification 2, alpine skiing, men's super G. We have skeleton men's training, Nordic combined, biathlon, women's 15 km, women's freestyle skiing. We have hockey, men's, Slovakia, Finland. We're going to pick it. So it's 10:40 our time. Their time, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Finland minus 400, Slovakia plus 210, over under 5.5, overs minus 104, unders minus 118. Finland minus 1.5, minus 144, Slovakia plus 1.5, plus 118. I'm going to go with over 5.5 at minus 104. We have more luge, both men's and women's. Men's 1,000 meter speed skating, curling. Men's. We have Sweden, Italy. Sweden is minus 120, Italy's minus 106. I'm going to go over 12.5 points at minus 113. Canada, Germany. Canada minus 330, Germany plus 240. I'm going to do Canada minus 3.5 at minus 106. Chezia, US. US minus 225. Chezia plus 172. For this one, I'm going to go over 12.5 minus 113. And China, Great Britain. Great Britain minus 590. China plus 390. We're going to go over 12.5 minus 113. We have figure skating, ice dance, free dance. And in more hockey, we have Sweden, Italy. That is 9 o'clock their time, 3 o'clock here. Tomorrow, Italy minus 134. Oh, I'm sorry. Sweden is minus 10,000. Italy's 28-1. Over under 6.5. Over is minus 134. Unders plus 110. Italy plus 1.5 is minus 120. Sweden minus 1.5 is minus 2,000. Under 6.5 plus 110 has some value. All right, so there you have it for Olympics. Now we'll move on to on this day. We just have to do the one from today. Brought to you by All Sports News. I'm sure there's Super Bowls in there. Maybe awards. 2022 76ers acquire James Harden. I can't believe that James Harden was only on the Sixers for like a year. And they got him from the Nets. 2022, Aaron Rodgers named NFL MVP. 2018, the Cubs signed Yu Darvish. 2020, Chargers, Phillip Rivers parting ways. 2022, Celtics acquired Derek White. Derek White's been on the Celtics for that long. 2022, the Wizards acquired Kristaps Porzingis. 2022, Cooper Kupp named Offensive Player of the Year. 2017, Tigers owner Mike Ilitch passes away. 2019, the Ducks fire Randy Carlisle. 2022, Oilers fired David Tippett. Is that when they hired the guy that was with the Rangers? Or that was a couple years later. 2022, TJ Watt named Defensive Player of the Year. 2022, Jamar Chase named Offensive Rookie of the Year. So there you have it for on this day. Now move on to the news and notes. So just coming down now, OG Anunoby out for the Knicks tonight. It's right toe injury. I just think it's like a load management kind of thing against a bad Pacers team. So like I'm not too worried. I know he didn't play against Boston or Detroit. The Giants are interviewing former Titans head coach Brian Callahan for their quarterback coach job. So that's interesting. And then Gridiron Heights finale was on and people couldn't believe. Chris Bryant is starting the year on the injured list because of a back injury, and he last played on April 12th. That is crazy. Chris Bryant's career went into the fucking tank after he left the Cubs. And remember, we all thought this guy was going to be the best player of his generation. That's Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani. Yeah, we all thought that about Chris Bryant, that he was going to be like right up there, but it ended up being Judge and Ohtani. Lindor may need surgery as he would be sidelined for 6 weeks if operation on hamate bone is needed. Yikes. Giannis to return soon, as he may return sometime after the All-Star break. LeBron's missing tonight's game, which makes him ineligible for awards. Jimmy Butler completes his surgery as he's expected to be full recovery from ACL tear. Steph's out of the All-Star game. I think Brandon Ingram is replacing him from what I found out. We talked about Jason Tatum going to the G League for an assignment yesterday. The Heat are still going after Giannis as they intend to make another attempt to acquire him this summer. But yes, Brandon Ingram is replacing Stephen Curry in the All-Star game. David Stern says that the Mets are moving Juan Soto to left field. So that's interesting. I mean, he did play left field when he was on the Yankees, so does make sense. It's not like he doesn't know how to play it. Nick Emmanmori trolls the Patriots as he says referencing his iconic taunt after the win. Justin Verlander back to the Tigers. 1 year, $13 million. I don't hate that deal. I mean, he's not an ace anymore. He's a middle rotation guy. I think it's a good comeback story. Former star of that team and coming back home. You love see these stories sometimes. The Braves to sign Jonah Heim. He was an all-star in 2023. Drake May says he doesn't need surgery. He admits shoulder injury against Broncos was significant after Super Bowl loss. Will Campbell has a torn ligament as he says injury is not an excuse for playoff performance. He's saying all the right things. 49ers defensive end Keon White shot in the ankle and was a victim of a shooting and sustained a bullet wound to his ankle on Monday. Yikes. Mixed doubles. U.S. curling pair gets silver. Corey Thais and Corey Dropkin. First ever medal mixed doubles for U.S. Russell Westbrook reaches 27,000 points. Charlie Baker praises common sense ruling as Bediako is no longer eligible to play for Bama. We talked about the fight earlier in the Pistons Hornets game. Musa Diabate, Miles Bridges, Jalen Duren, and Isaiah Stewart tossed for altercation. And then obviously Detroit goes on and wins the game. I did like Detroit minus the points in the game, but that fight swung it for sure. As Charlotte's winning streak comes to an end. Oh wow. Talk about a flopped baseball free agent signing. Anthony Santander out 5 to 6 months as he to undergo left labral surgery on Wednesday. Wow. The Blue Jays made and almost and should have won the World Series without him last year. So that's a terrible free agent signing. Like they could have used that money on like their bullpen or something. And then Michael Brown Jr. drops 45 in that NC State game. So we talked about much of a blowout that was. I think there was more Michael Brown really showing out, and he really has a chance to emerge in the like as a top 5 NBA draft pick because that's obviously Darren Peterson, AJ from BYU, Boozer from Duke, Caleb Wilson from Carolina, and Michael Brown might end up as the 5th guy. So getting the 5th pick in the draft might not be bad for the ones that miss out on the top 4. So there you have it for news and notes. Best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. This is hard. I've been in a slump since February. And I do like the Spurs minus 13. Knicks went down to 11.5 with the Anunoby thing. I found one. I like St. Joe's minus 3.5 at home against Fordham. Fordham's falling apart in conference play, and St. Joe's has quietly gone 7-4 in conference play. In Fordham 3-8, and they're about to go under 500. I think St. Joe's wins by more than a possession. So I'm gonna lay 3.5 at home for St. Joe's against Fordham for my best bet of the day. So there you have it for the show, and I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything, look at everything tomorrow as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.